Hello, everybody. So, there's a lot of people out there who maybe want a solution for something, but aren't really learning any type of programming skills. They just kind of, I just want a solution, and maybe don't really want to know the code, or if they do, they don't want it to be too complex, just kind of make the little changes that they want. So, this video is going to be kind of more a showcase of a bunch of stuff, as you can see from my desktop here, of a bunch of random scripts I've collected that I see a lot of people always kind of interested or asking about. Won't really jump too much in the code, but I'm just going to kind of maybe show some of the things you can change in the code, or if you don't want to, I'll link my website where I have this as a zip file with all the executables in it, along with the actual like scripts. That way, if you want to just launch the program, roll with it, you can. Or if you do want to make some tweaks, you can also. So some of these I probably won't really show much of the code on. Just say, hey, here's the little things you can change, and just show you how the program works. So this is going to be my showcase #1 video for you guys to watch. All right, let's go ahead and minimize me there, and let's jump into the first one. All right, so for this one, I got my recycling bin here. I'm just going to drag a random file in there so that we can see that it has something in it. And I'm going to go ahead and launch empty trash. You get a little message box here just telling you what the hotkey is. That way you don't have to look at the code to memorize it. And that just says press F1 to empty recycling bin. I'm going to go ahead, press F1, and just emptied my recycling bin. And that is all that it is with that code. Let me show you how easy that is. Got a lot open here, so give me a second to find it. There it is. So yeah, that's literally just the command F1 hotkey file recycle empty. Nothing really you need to change there for you guys. Let's take a look at another one. So this one is called always on top. Pick a window, press F4 to toggle always on top. Always top just means that whatever window you're on when you press this and activate it, it's not going to go behind a window even if it's, something else is your active window. So I'm going to open Chrome here. Got a notepad right here, just be a little bit more visible there with some random text. Why not? And basically what's going to happen here is, as you see, I can switch between the windows of what's on top. But let's say I want Notepad always on top. I'm going to press F1. And now I'm going to click on Chrome. And even though Chrome is my highlighted or active window, this is still going to be visible to me until I go back and push F1 again. And now I'm, back to having no always on top. Don't really need to show the code on there. That's, once again, only like a line of code with nothing really for you guys to customize on that. So I'm not going to put the code in the description below just because you'll be able to download this file and it'll have all the code you see here and executables, which will be in this little showcase 1 zip folder. So next one we got here is recipe list. I just have it called recipes. You can use it for whatever you want. If you want to have like guides, stuff for, video game, whatever. But I'm just going to pretend I'm making a recipe here. But it basically just uses kind of like a tree view here with an edit box over here. So the first thing I got here is tacos. Step 1. I can always right click, say like add ingredient, or you can change that to say like add step, as I did right there. So step 1, we'll just put step 2 there. Then I can just type whatever I want. Do this in step 2. And then I can push save down here and just jump back, step 1, 1 pound of beef and cook it. Step 2, whatever you want here. And, you can delete stuff, add a new recipe, so a completely new one, collapse that. Obviously, like I said, it doesn't have to really be used as a recipe thing. You can just use it as a step guide, maybe for a video game you're creating or some work you do. It's a great learning tool, too, for doing stuff like training someone new or something. You can create a step-by-step guide here. In this box, you can also add pictures, links, what have you. Nothing really to customize there, except for if you want to change maybe the name. But once you do push that save, it does save it as a BAK file on the same location of where the file is. So since I have it on my desktop, it's just going to save it to my desktop. Screen dimmer, you're not really going to be able to see that on my computer actually work just because of the type of monitor I'm using, and I don't think a recording would really pick that up. But this is just a dimmer that you can adjust to make your screen dimmer, brighter. You know, this is great at night if you just want to dim your screen because you have all the other lights off in your room and you just want it, you know, not so much light going directly at your face. And you can just click down here on this bottom part here to reset it back to what the default was there. Let me go ahead and close that one out. Next, we got the phone book. This is really cool. I actually use this quite a lot at work. It's, you know, basically a phone book. So you can adjust the column size here. And then down here, you can add, you know, information. So you can add, you know, your name or another employee's name, their email address. And the main reason I use this is for the phone number. I actually put people's extensions on here so that I can call them without having to always, you know, look them up in Teams or anything. I have, you know, my main people here that I'm always calling. I have like the IT department's extension on there if I need it. And you can fill out all this information, leave some of it blank, whatever. Birthday. I have no need for that. And just push add to list, and there's all that information up there. With this code, I will show you something. Just in case you don't want to use this as, you know, a phone book, maybe you kind of want to use this almost like a database. I've done that before. So instead of having like last name, first name, and stuff in these fields, I might have, you know, computer name, IP address. This is a great thing to use as, you know, some sort of database for your job or, you know, what have you. I definitely would be curious to see what you guys use this outside of, you know, using as a work or address book thing. You know, if you have any type of personal ideas for this, it'd be kind of cool to see. So definitely comment below. Let me know. Where is that one? Phone book. Yeah, here we go. So this code I'll show you real quick in case you do want to change the fields up there. Right here in the GUI, you just got all the things here. So first name, if you want to change that to, you know, IP address or whatever, and all of the things. And you can even delete categories if you don't want that many. Maybe you only need, you know, 5 or something. Once you do that, just make sure you also are changing, you know, the information down here too. Instead of saying insert address, you also want to add, you know, insert whatever. And that's pretty much it for that. The rest of the code you don't really need to change. And like in the last code I showed you, that's just going to save to your desktop or the location of where your phone book is being stored. So as you see, I got that right here. Next up, we got a timer. This one I've seen a ton of requests from people who want to, especially League of Legends, they want some sort of timer going off all the time for them. And that's what this is going to do here. So let me get that up and running. So I got this one also assigned to F1. Yeah, there we go. And this one you can, you know, just change maybe 0 minutes, add, I don't know, maybe 10 seconds. Push start. And the cool thing is the GUI does show you the timeout with the little progression bar there too. And once that hits, not sure if you're going to hear it, but it does do a bunch of system beeps for you. Yeah, so it just goes beep, beep, beep. And you just get a little message box up there just saying time's up. That way, if you're in a game, this menu is behind, you can still see this one at least. Alrighty. Another really popular one we see, and I actually use this one quite a lot at my personal computer, is a Google search. So we'll open up a notepad. So say you're looking at a document, or maybe you're already on another website, and you want to look up cats eating food. I don't know. You can highlight the text and just press F1. That's going to automatically do a Google search in your main browser there, Google. And there we go, cats eating food. And you saw how fast that was, even with this minimized. It opened it pretty much instantly and went straight to the results page for that. This is definitely a popular one. No need to show you the code on that because that's only just a few lines of very basic code. Nothing really there for you to change. Well, if you want, I guess you can make it do image searches instead of text searches. But I won't really get into that because I don't think I've ever really seen anybody ask for that before. Now we got on-screen numpad. This is useful for laptops, or maybe you just have a smaller keyboard that does not have a numpad, and you kind of just want that on your screen. I did do a remapping video where I showed you how to turn your actual main part of your keyboard into a numpad, but maybe you want one visually on your screen. You can do that here. And I mean, this is pretty simple. It's just, a numpad that mimics, whatever a numpad does. So I can, go that way, go left, go right. I can turn numpad on and send 8 instead. So yeah, that one's pretty self-explanatory. I don't think there's any reason you would need to change the code on that, so I'm not going to show that one. Open download folder. Press F1, and all that's going to do is open my downloads folder. Boom. Very simple. I will show you the code on this in case you don't want it to open the downloads folder. Maybe you want it to open something else. Real easy, once again, it's just kind of this one line of code. All you gotta do is put your information in there. So instead of downloads, maybe you want it to open your pictures folder right away just with an F1 key. I mean, if you want to change the hotkey, obviously you just change that here. If you don't really understand what that means, watch one of my first intro videos and I explain a lot about hotkeys and hot strings for you, depending on what you want to do. So, yep. What's up next? Speak to me. I just added this one mostly, I remember back in like middle school, our math class got laptops, and I forget where it was, but somewhere like in the system settings, you could do like text to speech testing, and we used to do silly things, make our computer say like the most ridiculous things and have it say it out loud, and we'd always get in trouble. This is basically the same thing, but it's not in the system settings. It's just a GUI. So you just say, hello, Tab Nation. Not sure if you're going to hear this, but push talk. Yeah, I'm not sure if that got picked up. I think my volume is actually pretty low too, but it just read that text out loud and it cleared the field for me so I can start entering more stuff. And you can make this, even though this edit box here is not super big, you can add a lot more here. This is great for people who are maybe visually impaired, is where I can really see this being used. They could be on a website, copy and paste the information into here and then push talk to have it read out loud to them. Or maybe you just don't feel like reading and you're just kind of like, actually, I could see this being, if you're playing a video game and you want a game guide kind of read to you, you could real quick go to the section you want it to read, paste it, and listen to something being read to you while you're, in another window, maybe playing a video game or something. So such a simple one, but I could see a lot of use out of this one. So I added that on there, plus I had that fun story. At least it was a fun story for me. Always love to get in trouble. Numpad volume control. A lot of keyboards do not have a volume up or volume down or a mute key on them. So if you're in the middle of a game or maybe just doing something, you don't want to have to move your mouse down there, or if you have to Alt-Tab out of your game to get to your volume controls on the desktop, this could be useful. And all this does is turn my numpad keys into, the volume up is the plus that one, but I can just push those. I will show you that code just in case you don't want to use those as your main keys. So all you gotta do right here is just change the hotkey. So I got numpad add, sub, and actually I did multiply for the volume mute. Sorry about that. But yeah, you can change these to whatever you want. If you want your volume up to be F1, volume down to be F2, go ahead and change that. All right. Make sure I'm closing all these out so I don't have, 50 scripts running at once. That would definitely maybe cause some problems. All right, future reminder. Spelled that wrong. I'll fix that. So this one, you just press F1. And it just kind of got a little step-by-step thing there. This is just a cool way to give yourself a reminder. So, it's the 29th here. That's fine. Maybe I want to change the time. Let's see if I can do this before the time goes up. So, remember, actually the time just went up, so let's go up another minute. And this date, you can go as far as you want. You can make the date 10 years from now. The only thing to remember is, as of right now, so it just is redisplaying the information you put in there. If you do turn your computer off, you do lose the memo there to remind you. If you guys want it to, really do something, you could always add like some sort of INI file to save that memo. But my feeling here is if you're setting a date that's, more than a day out, you should probably just use like a calendar program or something. This is just kind of a thing that's helpful for making a quick note that you just want to remind yourself of something maybe in like 15, 20 minutes or something. That's what I've used it for. Especially like if I'm cooking food and I'm in the middle of a video game and I can't see my clock on my computer, just have this pop up in my game saying, hey, go check the food. Make sure it hasn't burnt yet. So hopefully that goes off here soon. I'm going to leave that one running. The next one we got is birthday reminders. Once again, you don't have to use this for birthdays. You can just use this almost as like a calendar program. F1 to bring that up. And so these are just some sample things that came in the program when you first run it for the first time. But these get saved as an INI file that you can see right here. And this is just where you're going to add it. As of right now, there's no way to do it from within this program. You have to do it. There's that reminder there for you. And you can just always set another one. But yeah, with this, you're just going to do settings at the top, which will automatically be there. Number is just how many times you're going to have them there. So if I'm going to add 5 birthday reminders, I just need to make sure I put that 5 in there. And you got grand 1. I guess it's supposed to stand for grandkids. Yeah, grandkids. You can change that to your own verbiage if you want. So, yeah, just first, second, last name, and their birthday. And then grandkid 2. And that's just formatted in this, where it's 2007 on March 25th there, as you see up here. And it's cool for using as a countdown, because then you can see, how old are they, or how long time has passed if you're not using birthdays, and then how long until the next thing. You could use this for anniversaries. That's where I could see the use for being. I definitely need that sometimes to remind me of all the different things going on in my life. So yeah, this is going to be my showcase first one. Like I said, not really looking to really go in depth on the code here. Most of the stuff in the code is stuff I've already gone over, so you should understand it or be able to find out what it means if you want to tweak it a lot more than the little things I showed you. Yeah, download. Let me know if any of these you actually end up using. I'm kind of curious. Probably end up, if everything goes well and you guys like this, I'll make a second showcase video. Just let me know. And if there is one that you do want me to kind of explain the code a little bit more, let me know, and I can definitely reach out to you and explain that in a little bit more detail for you. And the last thing to throw out there is I'm trying out some, just for the fun of it, to see how it goes, some shirt ideas that I wanted. Nothing too crazy, but if you're curious, I have them here. So, here's just an example of just a funny little shirt I made with some AHK or basic programming text in there for you. $22.99. I'll put the link to the store in the description below. There's only 3 shirts. Just kind of playing around, testing the grounds out, see if I want to go forward, if any of the shirts end up being really good or suck, delete them, try something different. Please hit that subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.